Just about 2 days to go to the first major of the year, and yeah, it's been dominated by withdrawals, injury doubts, and so many other off the court issues. But we're almost there now.
Monday.
Life will continue, right?
Yeah, obviously, it has to, especially when you see the draw and when you have some of the stars not here.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'll keep talking about him. Roger Federer happens to be the main man right now. Everyone is tipping him for this title because Novak Djokovic, I mean, he has not been awesome this time around. Stan Wawrinka withdrew from the tie breaks, tournaments and all of that. So there's
we
a
don't
big
really know
house
his
now.
status.
Precisely. So we'll have to wait till Sunday night to see if he's going to play or not. Or Sunday morning to see if he's going to play or not. So you just have Rafael Nadal, more like the big contender right now. But this one we're talking about, he was the one who brought the trophy, defending champion. He brought the trophy in and, you know, just to show it to everyone. But we need to take a look at a particular report, right?
Yeah, let's just have a look. Let's have an idea of those guys that are missing out and those guys that are likely to miss out of the 2018 Australian Open.
The 2018 Australian Open is just around the corner, but unfortunately, the build-up has been dominated by a few withdrawals and injury doubts. Former world #1 Andy Murray is the highest profile pullout so far. Murray is out until the summer with a hip injury and will not have the chance to win his first Australian Open title after reaching the final 5 times. Also bitten by the injury bug is Japanese superstar Kei Nishikori. The 28-year-old is still recovering from a wrist problem and is not yet ready for the rigors of 5-set matches. In the women's section, Serena Williams had raised hopes of defending the title she won deep in her trimester. But after losing in her comeback against Yelena Ostapenko in Abu Dhabi, the 23-time major winner won't travel to Melbourne and will live to play another day. Joining Serena in missing the Melbourne event is Victoria Azarenka. Champion in 2012 and 2013, the Belarusian misses out on a second straight slam due to an ongoing child custody battle. Six-time champion Novak Djokovic, who lost in the second round last year, and beaten finalist Rafael Nadal look to have overcome doubts among their participation after the inclusion in Thursday's draw.
Okay, these are some of the stars that are missing out. No Andy Murray, no Serena Williams, and of course, Kei Nishikori and some of the stars. So we're now reduced to just some of the big players. The good thing is you have world #1, 2, 3, and 4 all there. That's a good thing.
Awesome stuff. It's a shame for those guys because I imagine they all look forward to playing at the Australian Open, but it's not meant to be for them. They will take time off now and try to return, fit and ready to go for the remaining slams of 2018. But for some other guys, Roger Federer, defending champion, is excited to be back and is looking forward to defending his title.
It's great to be back. No, this is not normal. I don't like usually going to draws because they freak me out. I don't want to know who I play other than just seeing the sheet at the end and knowing who my first round opponent is. But what a pleasure it is to be back on the Margaret Court Arena. Actually, that is the second court I came onto after winning last year and showed off the trophy to the people who actually watched on the big screens in here. It was an amazing final, amazing moment for me in my life, and it's great to be back here.
Of course, it's great to be back for Roger Federer. We will try to successfully defend his title when he begins his campaign on Monday. Another player who's glad to be back, who missed the last edition, Cecilia, for doping ban.
Let's just say 2 years. She hasn't been here.
Yeah, incredible. Maria Sharapova.
Maria Sharapova, well, you know what it means. When she stepped on court and she brought out the trophy, everyone was like, why is she doing it? She just returned. Come on. She's a former champion. Remember, she won in 2008. And if Serena Williams was to be playing, of course, she would have been the one that would have done this. But as a former champion, of course, she has every right to do that. Well, for her, she just wants to see how she can, grow up and get to
that level again, the level she was before she had to serve that ban. And you said as a former champion, right? And she's the biggest draw in tennis without Serena Williams.
Okay.
When Serena is out.
Let's listen to her right now.
Yeah, I think there's, you know, there's no easy way to get to the top, and whether it starts outside of 100, you always start at the bottom, no matter if you're a junior or a professional, and you always have to beat the top players in order to get to the top. And even when you're there, you still have to keep beating them, and you have to be consistent in doing so. And it's part of the journey. You know, after being away for such a long period of time, there's just a lot of adjustment and a lot of things that had to come back to me that didn't come naturally. And that's a process. And as a competitor and as someone that really wants it and almost a little too much sometimes, you know, I have to back out and say, this will take time, and it's about building. So that's why some of the matches that I was able to win last year were really meaningful.
We can't wait for Monday, and Monday, obviously, I think by the time we're here, some of the results would have been coming out, because you have like, what's the difference? Like 11 hours?
Huge.
Time difference. Right? So by the time we're here on Monday, we know that some stars may have been out, not stars, some players would have been out. But the stars may. But Roger Federer has just been done, and that's the guy who will be tipping up against.
But he's in a very tough draw.
Very tough.
Let's move on quickly from the from the Australian Open. Let's talk about Deontay Wilder. A lot of people, you know, expecting 2018 to be a big year for heavyweight boxing, and that's because of Deontay Wilder and the likes of Anthony Joshua and Joseph Parker. We expect these guys to face off at some point. But bad news coming out of the United States for Deontay Wilder. He's been sentenced to 60 hours of community service for marijuana possession. Not the kind of news you want to get from this kind of guy who's supposed to be a role model. I know a lot of them don't want to embrace that role model status, but the fact is, once you're a star,
once you're a public figure,
automatically you just become a role model.
That's it. Everyone is looking forward to you.
Exactly. You have to, you know, behave yourself and watch the way you act.
Remember 2 years ago? 30-day suspended sentence. It was also on probation. Same issue.
Look at that.
So I think you need.
I think there's a problem there, right?
There's a problem there.
Okay, yeah, that's it for Deontay Wilder there. Hopefully, he can learn from this situation and try to return a better man, and just focus all his energy on becoming a unified world champion.